So you feel lost, not just in the world, but also in yourself. And you don't really understand why or what to do about it. Not a problem. Alright, I'll keep this real simple. First, you need to understand that your attention is your energy. It's not like your energy, it is literally your energy being spent in a direction. When you think about something, when you look at something, mechanically what you are doing is giving that thing your attention. And your attention is the foundation for the most important resource you have, which is your time. When it comes to solving any problem in your life, it doesn't matter how strong you are, how smart you are, how kind you are. None of your strengths will have any effect on a problem unless they are unified with your attention. You cannot fix something if you do not think about it. You cannot build something if you do not think about it. You cannot protect something if you're not thinking about it. In order to do any of these things successfully, you must give them your attention. This is how ideas in your head become projects in real life, by feeding them with your attention, which by default also feeds them time and energy. And luckily, this doesn't cost money. You can be the poorest person on the planet and still be able to turn nothing into something if you just keep feeding it your attention. And this is why when you spend 3 hours of your attention binging random things on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, or any social media platform, you feel drained at the end of it. Because now you have 3 hours less of mental energy, and second, because you feel guilty for not using those 3 hours doing anything else that you know you should have been doing, like exercising, or washing your clothes, or going on walks, or anything that would have been more meaningful, like calling a friend, or spending time with loved ones over a nice dinner with good laughs and conversation. And even worse, the sunk cost fallacy kicks in, and because you feel like you've wasted most of the day, you figure, well, what's the point in trying to be productive now? I might as well just procrastinate and binge some more stuff and just try and do better tomorrow. But of course, all that does is make you feel worse and even more guilty, which makes it harder to actually do what you're supposed to be doing the next day. So this is what happens not just for me, but probably the majority of people that I know. And I meet a lot of people who struggle with maintaining focus, and they feel guilty and demoralized for it. Some people have ADHD, ADD, or something else, but I think we're at the point where even if you don't have ADHD or something, the average person is just struggling to maintain focus on things that they know they should be. And I just want you to know that you shouldn't beat yourself up over this too hard, because you're not really being fair to yourself. You have to understand that you're probably like me. You're just an average dude with average willpower, average focus, average experience, and average skills. And your opponent is quite literally multiple multi-billion-dollar companies hiring the smartest people on the planet whose job is to build an algorithm that steals your attention. So if you're wondering why you're struggling to focus, it's because you're actually fighting the smartest people in the world to do so. So give yourself a fucking break. Considering the scale and strength of your enemy, it's a lopsided losing battle, and it operates essentially like a casino. The house always wins. The more time you spend there, the worse your odds are, and the more drained, poor, and empty you're going to be when you leave. And as someone whose main channel is on YouTube, I have watched the site evolve to get better and better at distracting and breaking people's attention over the years. Do you ever wonder why the ads on YouTube keep getting more and more obnoxious and annoying? Like back then, the ad was just at the beginning of the video. You'd skip it and then just listen to a 30-minute podcast while you go on a walk or go to the gym. Now sometimes in the beginning, there's 2 ads back to back, and now there's intrusive ads that are specifically placed where the viewer retention is the highest. And then again at the end of the video. Now at first I didn't really understand the point of pissing everyone off and making everyone come back and click the video every 10 minutes to skip intrusive ads, but eventually I realized that every time I was forced to come back to my computer screen and click the skip button, out of curiosity, the corner of my eye would always check to see what the next recommended video was. And sometimes if it looked curious enough, I'd just end up clicking on it to see what it's about. And then it hit me. The point of the ad is not necessarily to try and sell you shit. The ad is a side hustle. The real point of the ad is to force the user to come back to YouTube in order to give the algorithm a second chance to steal your attention. Every time you come back to click the skip button, it sneaks in a few recommended videos out of the corner of your eye. Now, the second part is why things keep getting more annoying. Why do the recommendations keep escalating themselves to the point where it starts to be triggering? Why does YouTube keep adding features that end up pissing everybody off? See, I couldn't wrap my head around the logic for a long time. But after thinking about it for a while, it actually kind of makes a lot of sense. Like, think about it. What happens when you're annoyed, or mad, or even sad? Simply put, the angrier or the more emotional you are, the less clear your long-term thinking becomes. Like we've all seen the stories, the movies, and the anime, where once a character loses their cool, that's when they lose the battle. And this is true in real life. People who are not happy get demoralized easily. People who are demoralized usually default to some sort of short-term gratification coping mechanism. Everyone has different ways of coping. Some order a pizza, some go shopping for a handbag, some buy shoes, some buy drinks, some smoke. But the point is, all of these activities are short-term consumption transactions that come at the detriment to your future. Spending money on food that's going to make you sick, spending money on clothes you don't need, spending money on alcohol that's going to hammer you for the next day. These are all things that usually do not help you build a better long-term future. And the reason why social media keeps pissing you off more and more is because it's actually incentivized to do so. Simply put, the more emotional you become, not only are you more likely to make bad decisions and spend more time on their site, you are also less likely to invest in your own future, and you are more likely to spend money on bullshit that goes directly to the people who are trying to find new ways to distract you from your future. This is a perfect cycle that feeds into itself. And all of it starts with your attention. When you lose the ability to focus, you lose the ability to build yourself. And when you can't build yourself, then you lose faith in the future. And once you've lost faith, you get depressed, and when you're depressed, you just consume. And the more you consume, the more you feed the thing that stole your attention in the first place. This is why you cannot expect the big guys to create an environment that naturally keeps you in a good mood. Essentially, it would ruin the entire consumer model. If most people were happy, it would destroy their need for short-term coping gratification bullshit. Because when people are happy and having a good time and focused on building themselves from nothing, then they realize they don't have time to waste, they don't have health to waste, and they sure as hell don't have money to waste on shit that's just going to make their life harder. The healthy mentality will never be allowed to be promoted on mainstream, because if too many people did it, people would just stop buying shit. Now, I am not trying to say be a hard-ass robot all the way through life. I understand that people just don't work like this. You are not a Vulcan, I think. And so you simply physically cannot maintain hardcore mode all the time. You also need to take time to maintain your health. Hustling at the expense of health is stupid. You gotta make sure you get enough sleep. You gotta exercise. Wash your clothes and wash the dishes. You gotta take a few hours to decompress and refresh yourself. However you decide to do this is your choice. Like for me personally, at the end of my day, usually after I've done all my tasks, I relax by teaming up with some good friends and playing my favorite game. There's nothing productive about it, and it has nothing to do with my job or this channel, but what it does do is help keep me sane. So find a balance that works for you. And if there's one thing that you take from this video, just try to protect your attention. Unless something is absolutely necessary, I recommend turning off the notification sounds. Turn off the Discord sound. Turn off the Facebook sound. I tell all my friends that, hey, I keep my phone on silent, so if I don't respond immediately, it's probably because I only check my messages 2 or 3 times a day. And if anyone needs to contact me, then they can call me directly and I'll pick up. But I'll be honest, keeping my phone on quiet probably multiplied my ability to focus by about 10x. So if you've never tried that out, I recommend you at least give it a shot if that's an option. Because every time you hear this, or this, or this, your mind starts wondering, oh, who's contacting me? Why? Is it important? How long should I wait before I answer that? As soon as your brain starts down that train of thought, your attention is already being stolen and your momentum is already being broken. So just be aware of that. It is not an accident that you can't focus. It is by design. But hopefully now, at least you'll see what's going on and maybe have a few ideas of what you can do about it. So I hope this information helps you learn to navigate your life a little bit better. It definitely helped me. So I hope it can do the same for you. But for now, as always, hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you around.